Hey, what's up, guys? St. R. Edwards here. Welcome back to the Ski channel, Swift Coding for Everyone. We're going to continue on in lesson 2.9, Controls in Action. We're going to talk about gesture recognizers in this video. So all the controls that we talked about previously, UI buttons, sliders, the switches, those all respond to gesture recognizers. They all respond to either taps of your finger or you being able to slide the slider from left to right. So those are all gestures. Now, gestures are tied to a single view, but each view can have multiple gestures. For instance, a switch, you can either tap, from left to right, you can tap it and it'll go on and off, or you can slide the switch from left to right to turn it on and off. So in this video, we're going to discuss or just illustrate how, you can manipulate that and use gestures in your apps. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use a gesture called just the Tab Gesture Recognizer. So go ahead and open up your controls project once again if you don't already have it open. And in your object library, go ahead and type gesture. And you can see there are different types that are in this library. You've got the one that we're going to use at the very top. You got the pinch gesture recognizer, rotation gesture recognizer, swipe, and all different types of pan recognizers as well. If you wanted to see it like I'm seeing it right now, you can just drag this bar up and down. So I'm just going to minimize that again. And what you want to do is, now this is very tricky. So I would suggest opening up the document outline because this can be very confusing. And go ahead and hit all your triangles like I just did so everything will open up. And take the top tap gesture recognizer, the one with the single gesture recognizer, and drag this instead of onto your screen, drag it over into the document outline and put it on top of the actual view itself. So as you can see right now, I'm hovering over the view because that's where I want it to go. So release it right there. And now it pops up down here at the bottom, right? But if you right click, and you can already see it there, but if you were to right click on the view or go to connections panel, you can see that the gesture recognizer, tab gesture recognizer is tied to the view. And if you click anywhere else, it shouldn't be on any of the other views. All right, let me see, just double check. Yeah, so I'm over in the connections inspector. As you can see with the blue arrow, that's how I'm seeing all this stuff. And so, yeah, so our tab gesture recognizer is tied to the view itself, which is what we wanted. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the assistant editor and we're going to make a connection. Now, in this particular exercise, what we want to do is print out the X and Y coordinates of the gesture. So wherever you tap on your screen for the view, it should show you the X and Y value. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is just click on the Tab Gesture Recognizer from the document outline and open up your assistant editor. We're going to keep the taps at 1, meaning how many times you have to touch your screen, and the touches or the fingers required for it to work, we're going to keep that at 1. Each of the different gesture recognizers may have different defaults. As you can see, this one has 2 fingers. And so, I mean, you can obviously, kind of put it together that it's probably going to be, 2 and 2 or whatever. But for ours, in this case, we're going to just keep it at 1. And we're going to open up the assistant editor and create the connection. We want to give it a descriptive name. What we want to do is do it from the document outline. So control and drag, or right click and drag from the document outline to underneath one of the other functions. Make sure you're outside of its curly braces and not inside of it. Change the connection type from outlet to action. And we're going to name this, I'll just say respond to gesture. That's what we want it to do. So I'm going to name it that. I'm going to change the type from any to be more specific to UITapGestureRecognizer. I'm going to hit connect. I'm going to close out the assistant editor by hitting the standard editor and going over to the view controller file, and we're going to put some code in here. So what we want to do is do this. So we want to create a constant called location because that's what we're trying to get. So we're going to say this. We're going to say let location equal sender dot location. All right, and as you can see, this method is going to be a CG point. All right, and it says, so we have one argument here in what is going to be the UI, it's going to be the view. So returns the point computed as the location in the given view of the gesture represented by the receiver. So we want to just stick to this. And what view are we talking about? We're just talking about our view that's on the screen. So the view that the controller manages. So that's what we want. And now all we want to say is print that. We want to print that location. It's a CG point. All right, because we just turned it into that by calling this method. So this location is now a CG point, and that's why you saw it when we just typed it in. All right. So now we're going to build and run it, and let's see what we have. Let's see what we have here. All right, so I'm gonna just start tapping in random places. Oh, look at that. So 36, and a whole bunch of numbers, and 108. Tap somewhere else. Tap on the text field. No, nothing. Tap on the button here on the thing. Tap on the button. Button was tapped. Turn the slide off. What does that say? On and off. So it's recognizing it a little bit. I mean a lot, but it's everywhere. Cool. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. So all of our coordinates are popping up, our X and Y coordinates all over the screen. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this lesson. Stay tuned for more of the Ski channel, Swift Coding for Everyone. St. R. Edwards here. Check it out. Take care.